Guys, I've been thinking about this all freaking day. Guys, I don't have an ice cream scooper, so I'm gonna have to use a normal spoon. Currently editing up the previous video you guys saw on the channel. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy some ice cream. And also, I'm gonna go through my story of you guys asking questions for this Q&A that you guys are watching right now. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll through all the questions and kind of sort them out and see which one enters the vlog. As you can see by the title and thumbnail, we have a little Q&A today. I kind of want to switch it up from the usual style Q&As that I usually do. So we're going to do something a little bit different today. I got a whole bunch of random stuff I have to do today, little installs. I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys along with me through all of that, and at the same time answering all your guys' questions. Also, excuse me if I look a little bit sick. My allergies are just completely acting up today. Stuffy nose, runny nose, my eyes are all puffy. I apologize in advance. We are literally like a year late for this install. I literally got this for SEMA. I just have not went around to putting this on the BRZ, and honestly, I don't know why. You guys on the GoPro, kind of make my life easier while I do this install. First of all, I just want to wish you guys a happy New Year's. I think by the time I post this video, probably gonna be 2024, so just want to wish you guys a happy New Year's. Hope you guys were safe, you know, had some fun as we enter into the new year. It's always nice, you know, starting a new year, you know, new year, new mindset, new goals you want to achieve, a lot to look forward to. So yeah, I just want to wish you guys a happy New Year's first and foremost, and let's set those goals and crush it this year. Let's go ahead and start getting into the questions. So first off, Real Danny Z. I love your channel, Danny. But anyways, where do you see your channel going in 2024, or goals you have for it? Let's see, goals for 2024 as far as the channel. Let's just say 150,000. I want to do a new build. We'll get more into it later in this Q&A, but I definitely want to do a new build. I feel like in a way, I've kind of just stuck to the same theme of cars, you know, the same environment. I just feel like I've been doing the same thing for years now. Just stuck with Subarus. But for this year, that's one of my goals for this YouTube channel, is to kind of step out of my comfort zone a little bit and just try some new things. Ethan Presto said, what's one thing that always keeps you motivated? Shout out to Ethan, he's a homie. There's days where I am not motivated whatsoever. So motivation alone does not do everything for me. Big thing is discipline. So discipline, I feel like outweighs motivation by far. You know, doing things even when you don't want to, it's hard because motivation, I feel like, comes and goes. Instead of relying on motivation, I definitely have forced myself to kind of discipline myself and just tell myself that, hey, if I don't film these videos, if I don't post these videos, then, you know, I'm gonna stay the same. You know what I mean? There's gonna be no growth. Even on days where I don't feel like doing anything, I gotta remind myself, keep myself disciplined. I feel like that is what honestly keeps me going, is discipline. Bagged Rex says, are you going to sell the STI? Please don't. That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like in order to do a different car, we're gonna have to drop one of them. You know, as sad as that sounds, it's just something that has to be done, guys. Just keeping all three of the cars, you know, the FRS, the BRZ, the STI, and adding another one is just honestly pretty overkill. You know, I'm trying to save money myself, so if I were to do that, I would be spending at least probably like $2,500 a month on car payments and insurance. So that's pretty crazy. But in order to get a different car, we're gonna have to sell one of them, guys. Honestly, a question that I have been thinking about nonstop because it is such a difficult question to answer. So if I'm asking you guys, what car should we sell in order to make room for a new build? The FRS, the BRZ, or the STI? I honestly don't even know the answer right now, so I'm gonna need your guys' help. How much did it cost to build your 2022 BRZ? Obviously, I did get some things, you know, sponsored, some things discounted, but I think the wide body kit MSRP just for the fiberglass is like 7,000. plus the bags is like another, let's say 3,500, so that's 10 grand. Wheels, brand new, we'll say 3,500, so that's about 13 or 14,000 right there. Miscellaneous control arms, tow arms, let's add 500 combined. If you were to get like a brand new wrap for this kit, it'll probably be around 3,000 to 4,000. What are we at? 17, 18,000 around there. Exhaust system, headers, catback, that's like another probably 1,500 plus the tune. That's like another 500. So honestly, all the mods combined to make it like probably sit as is right now, roughly 20K. Now that's just like a real quick like guesstimate.
Set screws in here. I would recommend to go ahead and put these.
Shout out to Import Image for that video on removing this. I have no idea. Any new plans for Borgia Supply? This is a really good question because honestly, I have not really told you guys what the plan is. I've been having a lot of thoughts. I'm actually planning on starting another brand. It's gonna be a different name, it's gonna have a different meaning. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna still keep both, and they're just gonna be two different styles. I'm not gonna reveal too much, but yeah, my plans for Borgia Supply is I'm gonna keep doing that, but there's gonna be another brand coming soon, and I'm super excited. It's probably gonna be like streetwear vibes, and it's just gonna have a whole different meaning. So yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. That's gonna come very soon. Robert wants to know, how did you start learning how to work on your cars? Excuse the damage I'm causing to this thing. I'm gonna end up throwing this away, so don't worry. I honestly started working on cars. There wasn't any magical formula. When I first got my FRS, I wanted to mod it, so I literally just watched YouTube videos, how to installs, bare minimum tools, just tools that my dad had laying in the garage, and I would make it work. And just over time, we kind of just accumulated a whole bunch of tools that turned into the huge toolbox that I have right now. So experience is your #1 teacher. The more you do it, the more you're just gonna be familiar with it. Before you know it, you're gonna be able to just do a whole bunch of stuff to your car, kind of like me. So that's pretty much how I got into learning how to work on my car. Jesus.jrdo said, any plans to revisit the 5.0 or any other muscle cars? If I'm gonna be completely honest, every single day. And I definitely want to. Honestly, at the top of the list of builds that I want to do next. We'll get more into it later in this video because there is more questions that kind of tie into this, but you might just see a Mustang as the next build. We'll just see. What stresses you the most? That's a good question. Probably like not being productive. I really just get into a little funk whenever I feel like I'm not productive. Actually, now thinking about it, does stress me out is when I either miss an upload or if I haven't uploaded in a long time. Makes me mad, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I feel like I'm letting you guys down. I feel like I'm letting myself down, and I feel like I'm slacking whenever that happens. Doing this YouTube stuff, that is what stresses me out the most. Postponing uploads, missing uploads, or just being late on uploads. Tyson Palma said, what's your biggest takeaway from 2023 that you'll use going into the next year? In 2023, I learned that time does not stop. Time goes by so freaking fast, and before you know it, 2 months have gone by, 5 months. In that case, if there's something that you've been wanting to do, something you've been wanting to chase, just do it now, guys. Also, I'm a big firm believer on you're not getting younger, you know what I mean? You're just getting older day by day, and there's just opportunity everywhere. Especially with the internet now, dude, like there's just opportunity everywhere. Time flies. We are not getting younger, we are getting older by the day. So whatever you want to do, whatever goal it is, you don't want to be living in regret, you know what I mean? Just like saying, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, because you're too busy, you know, like slacking and thinking you have all the time in the world. This shift knob is super nice though. It's like really heavyweight. Definitely feels much different than the stock shift knob that we have right here. A shout out to BuildWorks for sending this out for the BRZ. It's super sick. We also got another company sticker to add to the collection. We'll go ahead and add that to our little sticker collection that I have of all the companies that we work with. Jeez, my engine bay has started to get really dirty, especially with no fender liners. Let's check that camber wear. We good? Looks like we're good. Lots of life left with these tires. Would you ever build a BMW? Alongside a Mustang, I feel like a BMW is definitely up there on the list as far as new builds for the channel. Would love to do an M3, E92 M3, even an F80 M3, G80, G82. That's like baller money, so I don't know. I would love to do an M340. The only thing about BMW is they're expensive, so compared to a Mustang. But back to the question, would I ever do a BMW? I definitely would. Go and hold that for 30 seconds or so. Got a little bag with the Street Hunter badge. Actually comes with an oil cap as well for the oil fill up. I kind of like the stock one because sometimes I kind of hammer it right here because it's super tight. I don't want to hammer this one if needed be, if this was like too tight, so I kind of like the stock one instead. Like it's easier to remove. I mean, nothing crazy guys, just little dress up, little caps for the engine bay. This box has just been sitting in the garage, so I just wanted to throw it on real quick. Perks of having a Hispanic girlfriend. Around Christmas time, her mom gives me like a bag of these, and I just completely destroy these every single day until I finish the entire bag. So shout out to Daniela's mom. I love her so much, but I don't like olives. Do you guys like olives? Definitely one thing I cannot eat is olives. That's a no. BRZ_Teddy said, are you okay mentally? Honestly, bro, for the most part, yes. Yes, I am. I think just one thing that's been on my mental lately, coming up like these last couple months, like ending off this year, is kind of financially just kind of rebuilding the damage that happened throughout the months of SEMA, building the FRS and everything. I feel like this span of like 3 months, 2 to 3 months has just been so expensive. I kind of talked about it in a previous video, but I've spent at least 20K just out of pocket, just splurging on parts, getting that car ready for SEMA. Pretty much a full build, you know, bags, wrapped, suspension, wheels, everything. That whole car was like built, honestly, from the ground up. That's essentially paying for a whole build just right there in a period of time. So that took a huge kind of hit on my wallet, on my savings. But yeah, honestly, that's just been on my mental recently, just kind of rebuilding that, kind of focusing on finances. As far as if I'm okay, I'm good, bro. No complaints. Could be worse. I'm just thankful to be here. Any plans on making more meets for your community, like the birthday cruise? I just love doing those events. Like, I've been kind of planning behind the scenes for what to do this next upcoming year, this birthday cruise. I don't know if I want to wait till my birthday. I might do it sooner. Kind of planning something big. Each year I kind of want to step it up and just level up from the previous event. It's different, but I feel like you guys are really gonna like the one this year. I really want to make it special. So yes, I definitely do plan on doing more events and cruises for you guys. More questions on the STI. Would you sell the STI for something else, and what would it be? I really want to do a car kind of different from the theme that I currently have on the channel. It's literally just been Subarus, STIs, WRXs, FRSs, BRZs. I feel like I owe you guys something different, so I want you guys to comment down below. What should we do for the next build? I definitely want to do a muscle car, a Mustang, or a BMW. Only thing is BMWs are freaking expensive. I definitely got to get rid of one of the cars. I know I did talk a lot about getting a truck. That's still in my mind. Guys, I want so many freaking cars. I want a truck, I want a new project car, so it's like I kind of like I have to like outweigh the benefits, the pros and the cons. But I don't know, I feel like my top 3 is a truck, Mustang, and a BMW. Neptune86 said, what's some recommendations you could give to someone just getting into YouTube? My biggest piece of advice, it's so cliche, is to stay consistent. You need to be throwing your name out there. You need to be pumping as much videos as you can. The more you put out there, the more eyes will see those videos. You post once every 2-3 months. That's one video for every 2 to 3 months. So it's like the chances of people seeing that video are much less in comparison to posting every single week or a couple times a week. Also, another piece of advice, when you're thinking of a title and a thumbnail, take yourself out of your perspective and put yourself in, I guess you could say, a random person's perspective. If you saw your thumbnail and your title while you're scrolling through YouTube, would you click on your own video? That's a big one. That's something I take into consideration, kind of designing my thumbnail and putting the title. Is, are you putting an interesting title? Are you making a good thumbnail? Take yourself out of your perspective. Let's say a random person is scrolling through YouTube. Ask yourself, would you click on that title and thumbnail in that video that you just uploaded? Also, people love exhaust videos. So starting this YouTube channel, I did so many exhaust videos. I feel like those do the best. stole my dad's truck for the day. This is not my truck. I definitely need a truck to do stuff like this, but we are in our little space. If you guys missed, I think it was the last video, me and Jason got a little space. I don't want to call it a shop because it's actually really small. You can fit a car in here, easy, but it's just a little bit narrow. So it's kind of just our little space to like store all our junk. In my case, stock parts, you know, a whole bunch of wheels, stock wheels. I'm gonna start unloading all my stock stuff and just kind of free up the house garage because I have a lot of stuff in there. So freaking tired. I've just been doing back and forth trips to the house, lots of heavy stuff. But anyways, continuing on to the Q&A. Has YouTube/Instagram become your full-time job, and how has it impacted your personal life? So YouTube is not my full-time job. I still have a 9 to 5 that I work pretty much like the first half of the day. Once I get off of my 9 to 5, then I start focusing on, you know, YouTube, you know, the clothing brand, Border Supply. So no, social media is not my full-time job yet. Manifesting that, you know, one day we are gonna get to that point. I know a long time ago, if you guys have been following the channel, I was like, yo, at 100K, I'm gonna quit my 9 to 5, you know, we're gonna do this full time. But to be honest, I kind of didn't really see what was coming. You know, owning the 3 cars, it is very expensive. And at the moment, I was just like, you know, I wanna quit my job, you know, I'm gonna quit my job. And this was before I got the STI. So I had 2 cars. But when we got the STI, that just added on to, you know, my budget. So it was only right keeping the 9 to 5 because it actually does help big time to fund everything, you know, new car parts, new cars, etc. So that is why we're still working a 9 to 5. As much as I would love to, you know, quit it and just do this full time, it just would not be the smartest move right now. How has it impacted your personal life? It just helped me, I guess, manage time. You know, that's something that I definitely still struggle with. I have the 9 to 5, I have to do film, you know, I gotta film YouTube videos, edit them, come up with ideas, you know, install new stuff on the cars, and on top of that, running the clothing brand. So it is a lot, definitely a lot of planning. I don't know how I do it. Honestly, I'm just pretty much winging it, and I just try to prioritize what needs to be done on certain days. Kaden.fast said, how have you balanced making large purchases on cars/parts? I do save my money, but to be honest, I'm not the best saver. This stuff is so expensive, so a lot of the times I'm just reinvesting, you know, whatever I get from YouTube, whatever I get from the merch shops, 90% of the time it gets reinvested somehow into this business. Before I started getting paid with all of this stuff, to make large purchases, I'm gonna be completely honest, I use a credit card. I don't know, just with the credit, I was just kind of leveraging that, you know, just using my credit card to my advantage. There was times where I splurged and I just kind of found myself drowning in debt. As long as you know that you can pay it off in a time of matter, then you're straight. Use credit as a leverage, you know, it is not 100% bad like people say. If you don't want to spend $3,000 on bags, throw it on a credit card, pay it off in like 6 months or a year or something like that, whatever fits your budget. And in the process, you'll be building your credit too, so it's like a win-win. The infamous question, what is your 9 to 5? So I actually answered this in the previous Q&A that I did. But my 9 to 5 is, I don't want to get too into specifics, into details, but I work on like airplanes, not mechanically, but like the paint process. So like sandblasting them, painting them, masking them up. So yeah, that's pretty much my field with the 9 to 5. You guys are probably like, how did I get that? Honestly, I just applied. You know, I was in my early 20s when I got that job. So I was just looking for something more stable, something more, you know, like a big boy job. I used to work for Pizza Hut before my 9 to 5s. I was just working on like minimum wage jobs. I worked at Vaughn's, I valeted cars, worked at Pizza Hut, and a lot of the times I was working 2 at a time. But yeah, once we got this like big boy career job, I mainly focused on that only. I just worked that one, and then obviously like YouTube and business. So yeah, that's my 9 to 5. Oh man, this makes me sad. What's a better daily, your old WRX or current STI? I don't know, something about my old WRX hits different. Honestly, I miss that car so much. I wasn't a fan of like the FA20, you know, like the high-pitched equal length sound that the WRXs have. But over time, man, with the Tomei, the J-pipe, intake and everything, that car slaps. I feel like, man, I don't know. The STI is cool, you know, like it's just like, oh man, it's an STI, it's freaking top of the line, but I don't know, man. Thinking back, owning both, I feel like the WRX hit a little bit different. Don't get me wrong, the STI is amazing, you know, like that's just like the upgrade from the WRX, but I think more so it's just the way it sounds. That's why I love that car so much. And I bought that thing brand new, literally off the lot. I don't know, I feel like a better daily would be a WRX. They're cheaper, way cheaper than the STI. And you could literally make the same amount of power with them, honestly. Top 5 songs right now. That's a good question. Let me look at my Apple Music. No, I don't use Spotify. I don't know why, I use Apple Music. Lately, I've been on a lot of throwback music, like early 2000s hip hop. That was like just kind of like the era that I was growing up. I don't know if I can name songs. I'm just gonna do artists. Drake at the top. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm always posting Drake's music in my story, like rollers and stuff. Drake is for sure #1. I listen to Blast a lot. I don't know how to say his name, but Bino, this guy, I've been listening to him a lot. I don't know, him and Blast have just kind of like the same vibe. It's just like that West Coast vibe. And just a lot of old throwbacks. I love old throwback music, like old T-Pain, Chris Brown, who else? Chingy, 50 Cent, Nelly, The Dream, David Banner, Plies, like just so like old not old, but like just throwback early 2000s. Best music, hands down. Could listen to that any single day. Plan on taking your cars to the track anytime soon? Honestly, bro, no. I'm just not a big track person. It never really interested me. It's cool, like I respect it. I respect all motorsports and I think it's cool, but like for me personally, I just don't see myself doing it. I don't know, like I'm down to try it one day, but like actually dedicating myself to it, I don't have an interest in it. I'm just all about like show car, like street car, just like modifying it to look super sick, you know, sound nice. Yeah, I never really built my cars for like the track or racing or anything. It's just never really been my interest, to be honest, but I respect it. Maybe we'll get into it in the future, who knows? But just right now, what I'm thinking about, it doesn't really cross my mind. This is a good one. Matthew Antonio 07 said, you wouldn't be where you are right now without ... I wouldn't be here right now without God. I feel like without prayer, without talking to him, I wouldn't be where I'm at, to be honest. I've gone through, you know, some stuff, and it's just so obvious that he was like looking out for me. You know, I've prayed about moments like this where I'm just talking to so many, you know, amazing subscribers like you guys watching the video. I literally prayed about moments like this. Before I even had a single subscriber, I was praying for just stuff like this, to do fun stuff to cars like what you guys see on this channel. So honestly, without him, without prayer, I would not be where I'm at today. Jorge Torres said, what app/software do you use to edit YouTube videos? So like you guys saw in the beginning of the video, I use iMovie. Ever since the first YouTube video I've ever made on my channel, on the same MacBook. Not a crazy MacBook, not a crazy editing app, literally just the basics. It's not all about the expensive gear, the expensive camera, it's literally what works for you. And literally iMovie is easy for me, so I've just stuck around with it. Last question before my camera dies and before I gotta leave. Is your YouTube engagement affecting which car you would want to buy? 100%. I'm gonna be completely honest, yes. That is the main reason why I sold my Mustang years ago, because I feel like my channel was kind of just like barely starting. So I don't know, I was just kind of building up. I was still building up the channel a lot, you know, I still am, but I went from JDM over to American Muscle, and I forgot how many subscribers I had, and that big change in engagement and views led me to sell that car, to be honest. I felt like it wasn't right, you know, at the moment, you know, I was still pretty low in subs, so I was trying to get as much engagement as possible to grow more, and that car I feel like did not do the trick at the moment. It was hard, you know, that is my dream car, and it was hard to sell because that was a car I really wanted, but I guess just at the moment it was not the perfect timing. Now it's weird, I feel like a lot of you guys want to see the Mustang again, and I don't know, we've grown, I want to say like triple in size, maybe even more on the channel, so now it's just like one of those moments where I'm like, hey, maybe we can just introduce it into the channel since a lot of you guys want to see it, and also we just need something new because I've stuck with Subarus ever since. That may sound bad, you know, like, oh, getting a car for views and this and that, but you gotta think of it like this is literally a business, and this is how I make my money and stuff, so you have to be smart in a way, you know. I have to do what I like and also what you guys would like, you know. I have to kind of be 50-50, not exactly, but you guys get what I mean. I have to weigh both sides. I can't only strictly focus on what I want because that may or may not work with what you guys want. So at the end of the day, it's a business. time of year. I just feel like I'm starting to get a sore throat, so. We'll go and finish the rest of this Q&A inside of the BRZ. Alright, so you guys there. I was just editing this video and I think it's like, I want to say like 25 minutes so far. So this is a long one, so if you guys are still watching it up until this point, I appreciate it so much. Let's do, this is like the ultimate test to see if you guys are still watching. Let's do the little like the thinking bubble, like, you know, the emoji. If you're just still watching up until this point, be sure to throw that in your comment. And man, that's a long time, like 25-ish minutes I think it is so far. That's a long time, so if you're still here, I really appreciate you sticking around up until this point in the video. But yeah, let's go ahead and finish up this Q&A. BRZ.Chris said JDL turbo kit and flex fuel kit for the BRZ. So I did post up on Instagram, I think it was a couple days ago, and I was like, yo, I think it's time to turbo the BRZ. You know, I kind of like added JDL. I was like, yo, let's work, let's do something, just to kind of throw it out there. I feel like that's definitely one thing that the car is missing, really. Like, it's just really the only thing is just a fat turbo kit. We did supercharger on the FRS and that was cool, but I just really want to dive into like a big turbo on one of these cars. I'm curious to see what it feels like. Can't go wrong with turbo noises. So that's definitely on my list, especially for 2024, is throwing a turbo on this car right here. So to answer your question, yes, it is currently on my mind and I would love to when I guess the time is right. Brew.Green said, how many subscribers would it take to quit your 9-to-5 and do YouTube full time? So I feel like this is a one of those things that people, I guess, don't really understand if you don't do YouTube. Basically how it works is you don't get paid more if you have more subscribers. All that really matters with us YouTubers is the views. You know, how many views do we get on all the videos, you know, added up? That determines how much we get paid. So someone with 5,000 subscribers could make more money than someone with 200,000 subscribers. If that person with 5,000 subscribers gets more views on their videos throughout that whole month, then they'll make more money. So it doesn't really matter how many subscribers I have. I guess like once I reach a certain like amount of views I get, like average on my videos, then that's what it would take for me to quit my 9-to-5. I think we'll finish off with this question. Solo.26 wants to know, what's the biggest goal you want to achieve next year? I feel like we talked a lot about YouTube stuff and business stuff. So I want to answer this question with, I guess, like a personal life goal. One of my biggest goals for 2024 is to work on like my body health wise. I feel like 2023 I really kind of shorted myself out. I feel like since I work super early in the morning, sometimes I'm literally staying up like all night, or I'm staying up till like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I have to wake up at like 5 in the morning. So some days I'm only sleeping like 2 hours, 3 hours, and I feel like that just is gonna take a toll on my body, you know, sooner or later. I really want to prioritize kind of like my health, mental, physical health. I've been honestly doing pretty good with, you know, getting more sleep, going to bed more early. And also a big thing for me is like fast food. Like I'm always going out to eat, getting McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, you guys see in the videos. I've been working on kind of like toning it down with like soda and like fast food. I feel like that's like probably my biggest goal for 2024 is you know, focusing just on my body, you know, my overall health, getting back into working out. So yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I want to get into shape. I used to work out a lot. I used to like be in good shape, but then I kind of just like lost it ever since I started working like super early in the morning. So yeah, maybe I'll start doing some like workouts here and there in the videos, just like kind of like throwing it in there, implementing it. But that's honestly what I plan to work on this upcoming year. I feel like that's a good question to end off this Q&A. You know, it's been a long one. It's probably like 30 minutes by this point. I feel like it was only right to start off the new year with this kind of like fresh Q&A, give you guys a little refresher on what's going on in my life, what's going on in my head. And if you're new to the channel, this is a way to like kind of learn more about me, you know, learn more about who I am behind the camera, you know, what's going on. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, it was a long one. If you guys stuck around to this point in the video, be sure to put those little like thought bubble emojis in your comment. It's kind of just a fun thing I like to do at the end of the videos, just to kind of see who's still watching. Again, happy New Year's, guys. I want to wish you guys all a blessed and happy year ahead of us. As you can see, I'm already getting sick. Kind of a bad way to start this year, but thank you guys for an amazing 2023, the previous year. Love you guys so much, and I cannot wait to see what is in store for 2024. Man, it's gonna be crazy.